Welcome. Today, how I got into angelfish. Here we go. Alright, well, while we're waiting, I might as well let you see the work. So here's the last clutch of my my laced and black angel there in the living room. You kind of already see I got a glare in this container. As you can see, they didn't throw all black. Isn't that interesting? That's how it goes in the fish game. But I might as well let you see the work. So I'm just going to pour them in. And here we go. Actually, I'm going to ease them in, actually, so I can get you an underwater view. There we go. You can see they're not that much smaller. It's really hard to see, actually. Or above water, rather. There they are. Let's see, come around over this way. You'll see there's a size difference. And they're just exploring. Alright, so gotta give you the quick version. Lots of time has passed, so here we go. I acquired some angelfish. A friend of mine said, hey, you want to try breeding them? I said, sure, I want to try breeding them. That's what's cool about the hobby. You know, you got lots of things you can do, lots of twists and turns. The way you can flow in and out of this hobby, the people that you meet. So yeah, I ended up getting a pair of angelfish and a whole bunch more, as you just saw. And these are the breeding pair that I was holding for a friend. She said, go ahead, try to breed them, figure it out. So between her and another mutual friend of ours and his guidance, because I acquired the angelfish through him as well, and YouTube, I started. So here's a slate. Here's a male and female, and they're actually putting down eggs. And the male is going up and down after she puts them on the slate and fertilizing them. So I thought, this is cool. So I was on my way. Before this, I was just breeding gouramis and thinking about neon tetras. So anyways, here's the eggs. I took the eggs out once I felt it had been enough time, and I saw that a few were starting to fungus. So I thought, okay. So I went with a gallon jar and a little air stone to provide a little current there to keep the fungus from spreading or off of the eggs. And as you can see, I had a lot of eggs the first time around. I had all this out in my garage thinking it's warm in the garage. It was summertime, so I didn't have to worry about a heater, and that's why I kept the eggs out here. But I don't hang out in my garage a lot, and if you're not on top of it, well, here you go. And I'm not saying that this is the reason all these eggs fungus. They might have fungused even if I was on top of it. Again, it was my first time, and I didn't understand why they fungused out. I have a few wigglers on the bottom, and I actually had a few that survived. 9 to be exact. And this is what they look like. Sorry about the shot. You'll see them real quick here. There were more than 9 still at the time. And that's what I had. Fast forward, and here they are, the survivors. At this point, I had them inside in a 10-gallon, I think. I'm scooping them out of a specimen container. I think I acclimated them up to a higher pH. And then I thought, let me just grow them out in a little 5.5 gallon, see where we go from there. So that's what I did, and they did. They grew up, and they're actually in my 55 now with some other big ones that I procured from my buddy. And so they're there. So a few months later, after I actually thought, okay, I need to do this. I think, let me try this another way. I don't want to go out to my garage anymore. I was still getting fungus on eggs. What are you gonna do? They were working. This particular pair was putting down eggs every 2 weeks. So I thought, why not take the slate and put it in this fluval chamber box, which I did a review on. I'll put a little card up there for you to check that out. And this way the eggs, there'll be a little current going through there. I still put an air stone, and this way I could have the eggs still in literally 20 gallons of water going through that little container, and see how we do. Not as much fungused eggs, huge improvement. And so that came out really good. That spawn came out really well. You'll see them here in another tank. And again, here we go again. This is another slate, and I got better at it. And so did these parents. They started taking care of the fungus better than I ever could have. And so I started to leave the slate in longer with them. And then once I felt like I was at that moment where, these wigglers are gonna come off this slate, I didn't want them all in the tank with the parents. I would pull them out, and I'd put them back into the side tank there. And so that's what I did. So what you're seeing here in this side tank now is the second clutch of angels. And they're little, but I just grow them out a little bit, feed them in here. And again, that water is coming from the main tank and down back into the 20 to get filtered again. So to clarify, I basically, once the wigglers come off the slate and they're free swimming in there, I just pulled the slate right out, and this is what you end up with. Now granted, I did clean the tank and all that good stuff. They do make a mess from feeding. And so I'll turn the camera around here in just a second, and you'll see the first clutch for the first slate that I dropped into that chamber box. After they had gotten a little bit bigger, I went ahead and I threw them in this 20 high. And so now I have, essentially, I'm on the precipice of 3 clutches at 3 different phases. And so here's that first slate that really, all those eggs that looked really good with just a little bit of fungus, here they are now. So this was the methodology that started working for me. And of course, keep in mind, this was over a course of months to figure all this out for myself. So here you're looking at 2 more angels I had an opportunity to obtain in the midst of all this. A hybrid black and laced angel male with a female black laced angel. And they just started putting down eggs on a slate for me. I thought they ate them. They did, I think, the first time. The second time they surprised me. They actually moved the eggs. And so one day I was just looking at the tank, and I noticed, oh wow, they have all their babies with them. So I thought, well, I guess I'll let them parent for about 2 or 3 weeks. And that's what I did. I let them parent. And I eventually took them out, and you'll see them here in a second. I put them in a tote. So after I took them out, maybe a couple weeks later, they ended up putting down eggs on a slate again. Except, again, those eggs disappeared. I thought, wow, they ate the eggs. Not so. They just moved them. They showed me, hey, don't take our babies. We got it. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to let them parent these guys a little longer. And they parented them very well, actually. They were these fish here, these fry, actually got to grow to be about dime size before I even had to move them out. So very good parents. And I'm happy to say that my black and black laced angelfish are coming along quite nicely. And so there you go, another way you can get these angels to take care of their young. So I'm learning here in the process. So this is the first set that they put out for me there that I ended up removing. And this is the video I had from another video of them. And I put them in a tote. I didn't have any more tank space. And so I put the tote there, put a little filter in there, and all that good stuff. And then eventually they go in this tank with all the other clutches that get to about dime to quarter size. This is a 40 gallon, and this is the end result. And this is what's happening right now regarding angelfish and breeding them in my fish room. It's a lot of fish there, in case you're wondering, what am I doing with all these fish? I am selling some on Aquabid, and then I have a friend coming in, and I'm giving her a really good price, and she's actually worked her way and marketed her way into putting them into some stores locally, which is kind of really cool. And that's really it. So thanks for checking me out here, my little journey and my progression in my fish room, one of many projects that I have going on. You guys be safe. We'll see you in the next one.